My presentation is about how can the differences between the American and Japanese school lunch programs ultimately affect childhood obesity. Obesity rates, America versus Japan. On the graph, it shows the obesity rates of American children from 2013 to 2014. But we can speculate that since obesity rates are still rising, these numbers have either stayed constant or increased. The map above also shows the prevalence of obesity in children. The dark red areas show high obesity prevalence. The pink areas show medium level obesity prevalence. And the light gray areas show low level of obesity prevalence. So from this, we can conclude that American children have a higher prevalence of obesity compared to children in Japan. And in general, the overall childhood obesity rate among Americans is 18.7% and 3.3% for Japanese children. American School Lunch Program. It provides low cost and free lunches to 31 million students at more than 100,000 public and private schools per day. Schools that participate in this program receive $1.30 to spend on each child. The student's income also pays for the food they eat. So the fees that the students pay at the beginning of the year usually pays for their food. Unhealthy school vendors. So schools may pay people to come to their school, sell and promote their food, and these might not be the healthiest food options for the students. And low budgets make it harder for schools to provide healthier meals to their students. What are in American school lunches? Protein, fruit, vegetables, milk, and carbs. Here we have our vegetables, our milk, our fruit, our protein, and our carbs. Even though both of these lunches have all of these items, this is not the healthiest things that we should be feeding the students. Continuing is the Japanese school lunch program. It provides children with the nutritional value they may not be receiving at home. It educates children about the food they are eating and the importance of knowing the nutritional value of their food. And in 2008, the School Lunch Act was revised to change its aim from improvement of dietary habits to the promotion of shokuiku. Shokuiku is defined as acquisition of knowledge about food and nutrition, as well as the ability to make appropriate food choices through various experiences related to food and help people make healthier eating decisions. What are in Japanese school lunches? Carbs, vegetables, soup, the occasional fruit, milk, and protein. So here we have our protein, which is fish. We have vegetables, soup, carbs, and milk. And like I stated before, fruit is occasional. They don't usually have a lot of fruit in their school lunches, but if they do, it's usually either a tangerine or an orange. And this is a lot healthier than the American school lunches, and these are much better options for students to eat. So from all this information, I can conclude that because of the low budgets that American schools are provided with, the quality of school lunches is suffering, and unhealthy lunches are being served to the children. So it can be speculated that because unhealthy foods are being served to children at school, as a result, this has become one of the factors that are causing obesity prevalence among children in America to rise. My source states, tight budgets make serving healthier foods challenging. Next is Japan. So since Japan is educating their students about food and nutrition and providing the students with healthy meal options, this is causing the prevalence of obesity among children to stay extremely low and not increase. And my source states, in a 2018 nationwide study conducted in Japan and published in the Journal of Public Health, concluded that appropriate nutritional intake through school lunch may be effective to reduce childhood obesity. Japan has a relatively low childhood obesity rate and one of the world's most successful nationwide school lunch programs. Prevention methods. So these two prevention methods are directed towards American schools. So first, implement nutritional education. They should teach students about the food they're eating. What's healthy foods? What are unhealthy foods? And why is it important for the students to know these things? Second is advocate for healthier school lunches in your district. So go to the school board, go to the superintendent, get your ideas and your opinions out there and explain to people why having healthier school lunches would be beneficial to students. Next is a video.
French fries are good choices if you make them yourself and put them in the oven. You don't fry them up. What happens when you fry them and add all this chemicals? Bad pile. All right.
Do you know what this is, honey?
Celery.
No. What do you think it is, darling?
Onion.
Onion, no.
So from the video, what improvements can be made to American school lunches? What improvements can be made to Japanese school lunches? And if you think that there are no improvements that need to be made, explain why. And lastly, do you have any comments about the video shown? Anything that you would have changed or you would have added to the video? And lastly, here are my references. And thank you for watching my presentation.